got 15 of the most upvoted r/AmITheDevil Reddit posts for the month of March 2025. If you're not familiar with this series on my channel, I go and I find the best stories chosen by Reddit for the month, and I put them all into one video for you so that you can enjoy them. Now, because of that, if you are a regular viewer on my channel, you're going to notice there are repeats, because obviously there's going to be some overlap there with how many stories I read and not knowing which ones are going to be the top ones. But as always, I timestamp everything for you guys so that you know exactly which stories are the new ones and the old ones. There are 6 new stories in this video, so feel free to skip around as you please. I have one more video in this series for Best of Redditor updates coming out tomorrow, and then we'll just be back to our regularly scheduled uploads. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Let's lock in here and read some Reddit. You guys, this one is a little bit heavy based off of what the person captioned it when they posted it in AmITheDevil, so little trigger warning here for the stream as well as for the video. If you need to dip and come back, that's perfectly fine. R/relationship advice. My wife says she wants to die rather than continue to be married to me or be a full-time parent to our 3 children. Will you guys please tell me the hard truths I need to hear? We have a 29 female wife and a 30 male OP. So they started it by saying, I posted this earlier in the week, but quickly took it down after receiving a bunch of advice I didn't want to hear. But in the title, it says, will you guys please tell me the hard truths I need to hear? Not a good start. I'm reposting this again, this time ready and willing to just go with the advice I receive, knowing that I have been working against myself here, and I just need to change. It is worth noting, I am a Christian. I grew up without a good example of healthy marriage, and I wanted to be different, which in my mind meant fighting tooth and nail to keep my marriage. My main focus has just been being a supportive husband and father. My wife recently has emphasized again that the idea of being married makes her feel suicidal, that she needs to find herself. She can't be a mom, a wife, and herself at once. She has greatly struggled with mental health issues over the years, and any notion of giving up on my marriage feels like I'm quitting on someone that is sick and just needs love and support. I'm going to just leave this post up, not check it for 24 hours, and then brace myself for some hard, honest truths. Thank you in advance. And then this is the actual post. This is a long journey to try and document that's been going on since the beginning of COVID, roughly. Over the course of 5 years, my wife and I had 5 pregnancies. Pregnancy 1, our now 6-year-old. Pregnancy 2, miscarriage. Pregnancy 3, 4-year-old. Pregnancy 4, 3-year-old. Pregnancy 5, miscarriage. Holy shit. After our first daughter was born, my wife started experiencing disassociation and depression. I was just an ignorant dude. I recommended she pursue therapy and offered my full support as best as I knew how at the time. She continued on and off with therapy, but I think it was a really bad fit in the long run. We ended up having a miscarriage, and it hit both of us differently. She seemed semi-unfazed by it at the time, although I believe she further dissociated. She told me as she was about 7 months pregnant with our second child that she has been having an affair. She was completely disconnected from reality and needed help. I broke down. World felt shattered. So I'm unclear if this is 7 months pregnant with their second pregnancy or second child. But either way, after that affair, to continue to bring children into this world? Like, bro, throw a condom on and get in marriage counseling. She was volunteering to work on things. I agreed. We got into marriage counseling. Okay, all right. Still not a fan of the babies though. It was like Jekyll and Hyde. Some days I was all she ever wanted. The next day I was the biggest hindrance in her life. I read up on a million different conditions. For the next year, she basically went back and forth, continuing to have her affair, us being separated for months at a time, her saying we're working on things. She's struggling with suicidal ideation, was in lockup at a mental facility, etc. I'm just taking care of a newborn, 1-year-old, and a 3-year-old. Eventually, I filed for divorce. We had a DV incident where she hit me several times. I was heartbroken, but I feel like a damn idiot for staying. I know this wife is like going through it, but like, I don't think we can excuse her actions. Me personally, a DV incident and an affair, maybe there's more we don't know. In our state, it takes 90 days for a divorce to finalize. Day 80, she's begging me. I want to work on our marriage no matter what it takes. Long story short, we didn't get divorced. Oh, brother. In the 3 years since then, we've worked hard going to marriage classes, counseling, etc. Struggles? Absolutely. It seemed like a constant cycle of everything being decently okay, and then her just being angry and thinking I'm the worst. Starting in November, maybe even sooner, I started to feel a rift. We've always been regularly intimate. If we aren't intimate for more than a few days, we end up just kind of initiating sex in the night while we're sleeping and wake up to us being in the middle of it. Is bro trying to say both of them at the same time started doing some like sleepwalk sex? Is that what he's saying? No, that's not a thing. I refuse to believe that's a thing. There is no way you just wake up to being in the middle of sex. Like, that can't be real. Wait, Tabby, it is a thing? Tabby, be so dead ass right now, because I really don't want to have to Google that. But like, if this is like a normal thing that married couples or couples have found themselves doing, I don't want to discount that, but I have never heard of this in the 27 years of my life. It happens a lot. I never done it with people or as a couple, but I experienced it as myself. Tabby, so are you saying that you and your partner have both woken up from your sleep kind of like mid-sex with each other? Is he just making excuses for him initiating sex while she's asleep, which is probably SA? I'm more trying to understand if this is like kind of a normal thing for some people, because if it is, maybe. Yeah, it's like a little offshoot of sleepwalking, but instead you start doing sexual stuff. You can start touching yourself in your own sleep, touching other stuff, climaxing, etc. I've never done it to my partner, my girlfriend, but I told her about it because I'm afraid I would do it to her. Some couples have experiences waking up mid-sex because of this though. Some people use that as an excuse to SA though, and most of the time you need to be studied to know for sure if you're actually sleepwalking. So it is a thing. There's like a small likelihood that that is actually happening and nobody's consent is intentionally being violated. I didn't know it was a thing, so I appreciate you sharing this, Tabby. Okay, so it sounds like it could have been a thing, but like a lot of us are definitely not giving him the benefit of the doubt on it. We just kind of ended up initiating sex in the night while we were sleeping and waking up to us being in the middle of it. Everything was dropped off though. Friendly conversation, intimacy, emotional and physical. I kept advocating. Well, one night in December, I guess, I had initiated sex in the night. I woke up to her gone. I guess I had initiated, she wasn't feeling it, but didn't wake me up or try to stop it. Not to blame her at all. She told me when she came home, saying she had been uncomfortable. I profusely apologized, offered to sleep on the couch, do whatever to make her comfortable. Therapy, etc. I want to know if this is like a medically recognized thing. Let me do a little research here. I don't even know what to Google search, chat. Can someone assist me? Is it sexsomnia? Is that what it's called? Holy shit. Yes, sexsomnia is a real and recognized sleep disorder. Sexsomnia is a condition where individuals engage in sexual behaviors while asleep without conscious awareness or recollection. It is a type of parasomnia, which is a sleep-related disorder characterized by unusual behaviors or experiences during sex. Sexsomnia can manifest in various ways, including masturbation, sexual vocalizations, touching or fondling others, and intercourse. Whoa, I had no clue this was a thing. Y'all, I think this is above Reddit's pay grade. I don't really fuck with the wife. If everything OP is telling us is true, domestic violence is not okay, and having an affair, like cheating on your partner, is not okay either. You guys know me, I like to try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and it's like, if this could potentially be a real thing, it could also truly not be intentional. Like, based off the research that we did, it is possible that everything that he did in that last paragraph that we just read is not intentional, and it's a serious medical condition. We had a few weeks or so of everything being okay after, still intimate, only she initiated, talking about issues. Eventually, she tells me she wants a divorce. She's looking for a job, wants to live in her car. She's going to K-word herself if she has to stay married and a full-time parent. I tell her I'm not happy to get divorced, but I'll sign whatever papers she presents me with. She's not a hostage. I only want to be married to someone that wants to be with me. I started to sleep separate, which makes her super angry. So I started sleeping in our bed again. What? I don't get it. This whole story is fucked, chat. Everybody's the devil. What is this wife doing? Hey, I wanted to separate. OP, okay, I'm gonna go sleep in another bed. Her, I'm gonna get angry about it. Like, so I start sleeping in our bed again. I advocate for her to get into therapy, which she does, and it seems her new therapist is a good fit. She's been in therapy on and off for years. This isn't her first therapist since 2020. Therapist tells her to not make rash decisions like divorce while she's mentally indisposed. They want to do blood work, meds, and the works. This has to be a church therapist, bro. There's no way this is a real therapist. There's no way that this therapist isn't hearing all the fucking shit in this marriage and the things that she's saying and then going, hey, don't make any rash decisions. Or that therapist needs their license revoked because what the fuck is we doing? She's just been going further and further downhill since January. She's in like 4 women's groups, therapy, book clubs, etc., all about mental health and wellness. She's been getting more withdrawn from all of them. It's always so back and forth. She asked for a divorce leading up to her period. After her period, she wanted to go house shopping and said she couldn't imagine life without me and is so sorry she's losing her mind. Then she goes back to wanting a divorce. We had a lovely date last week, went to see a show, dinner, drinks, very cuddly and romantic. Next morning, I'm getting the cold shoulder. There has to be some sort of bipolar thing going on with her. That flip from one extreme to another has to be on there, right? Yesterday morning, I got the kids ready for school, and when she came down to take them, she said the divorce papers are on the table. Please sign them. I signed them. I have offered to pay for her living situation, bills, etc. for a year, take on all the debts. She gets to claim the kids on taxes, and after the year is up, I pay child support. She can have all the money in our savings, non-retirement investments, so on. I just want the clothes on my back and 50% access to my kids. Damn, chat, like, I still don't feel comfortable, like, putting an 100% verdict on it, but, like, this doesn't give the vibe that this paragraph was intentional. Don't get me wrong, I think he's still fucking up, and he's the devil. Both of them are the devil for, like, bringing these kids into this situation and, like, letting this go on as long as it has. Like, dude, at a certain point, it's like, have some self-respect, bro. She cheated on you. You gotta pull out of there. There's, like, this whole thing is just a fucking mess, but, like, this is very admirable in my eyes. This paragraph right here. Well, she's been in bed basically since I signed the papers. She went to her book club last night, but turned off her location. I didn't ask or say anything. When she got home, I had to leave for work. She texted me while I was at work, and I took 30 minutes to respond, so I guess she tore all of my clothes off the hangers in the closet. Today, she's just been in bed all day sleeping and says she pushes everyone who cares about her away. She says she wants to die. She won't talk to her family, friends, therapist, etc. It's so confusing. She asked for the divorce, said she'd stay at a women's shelter or in her car, that being married to me was killing her. I signed the papers and offer her all of our assets, and now she's just non-functional. Help. She did come back from wherever she went last night with a bunch of magnesium because she's convinced she has PMDD and has read magnesium helps. I don't know. I mean, the comments are tearing him a fucking new one, but I still don't know. Like, I can't really 100% confidently say that he was R-wording her in this. Based off of the research that we did, God, I still think they both suck. They need therapy. They need a divorce ASAP Rocky. At this point too, like, if she does do something, like, I don't think that's on his shoulders. This is like everyone needs to part ways. Being together is not only bad for you guys, but also bad for those kids that you brought in this world that you shouldn't have. Sarby, I will say, even if they have sexsomnia, it's either they are both asleep or one party is asleep, both unaware and not consenting. I need to know, do they stop right away or do they keep going? Because if they keep going while one is unaware of what's going on, yeah, I mean, he didn't clarify that. I don't know. I think this one's too much for Reddit. I think this is just a crazy fucking story that, like, only professionals should be able to weigh on this. And I'm not a professional at all. I do not have all the right answers. And by God, do I not have the right answer for this one, I think. I don't know even where to start with this story. Short little post here from r/controversial opinions. It's okay to not support things because of your religion. It's okay to be homophobic or transphobic. Nope, you should have stopped here and deleted it. Also, let's consult the Bible and what your sky daddy says. Remember that part about love thy neighbor? What about that? Okay, guys, I unfortunately have to finish reading this. It's okay to be homophobic or transphobic because of your religion, but that's not an excuse for being an asshole. I don't support LGBTQ+, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna go out of my way to be mean to them. You should treat everyone with respect, even if you don't morally agree with them. This commenter said one of OOP's comments in response to someone pointing out people use religion to justify hate. Then I would argue they aren't religious at all, especially if their religion states that they should love and respect everyone, or in simpler terms, hypocrites. This is why I don't fuck with religion. Religion inherently is hypocritical, and then they like to point out how hypocritical other people are. It makes me actually want to Kermit soup decide in Fortnite. Hey man, let's be completely honest. There's no evidence to support that your religion is 100% real. Deadass, someone could have just written that shit to, like, fuck with people, and then people took it way too seriously. You can believe it, bro. Do your thing. But, like, you can't deny that that could 100% be the case. You also can't deny, because it's been retranslated multiple times. I don't even remember exactly what it is, but it's from, like, Hebrew to Latin to Greek to Italian to English. There is no original text. There's so much nuances that you miss via translation. So for you to be like, this book that was probably poorly translated over the 2,000 years that it's existed is how I should live my life? Stupid. stupid. Don't get me wrong, there are some lessons in the Bible that are important. For example, love thy neighbor. But then when you're hating on people just because they love someone of the same gender, that's where I'm like, okay, bro, maybe you should be questioning this stupid fucking book from 2,000 years ago. If you want to be Christian, go do your thing. But don't sit there and think that there aren't holes in the story. Let's just be as logical as we can around religion. That's gonna be such a hot start to the video, bro. People are gonna be so mad. I get people all the time in the comments who are like, why are you hating on my religion? We're such victims in the Christian church. No, you're not. You are the least victimized religion that exists. Yeah, no, this is good, King Skeleton. And that's the hard part is I'm speaking in absolutes, but I'm sure there are some great churches out there that are very accepting, but I don't have faith in them. I had to go to church when I was back home and they started on a sermon about how a wife should be obedient to their husband. And me and my siblings and my cousins who were there too, we all just looked at each other because we are all on the like, fuck that wave. It's so outdated. If I roll up and there's like the gates of heaven are real, like I said, I'm willing to accept that. But if I roll up and they're like, you know what? You weren't homophobic. You weren't transphobic. You weren't at church every hour on Sunday. Get the fuck down there. I'd be like, cool, that's probably where I belong anyways, bro. I belong with the nice people. That's so illogical to me. People be in my comments fucking complaining. They're like, the Christian hate is so unnecessary. Didn't ask, don't care. I think y'all need to hear it. What was the tweet I saw? I think I retweeted it. By the way, guys, follow me on Twitter. If you see someone say men are creeps and you feel offended, you are self-reporting. I agree with that. If you can't identify that men are creeps, you are probably one of them. I think any self-aware good man will realize, men tend to be creepy. I'm not going to do that. And if you're oblivious of that fact, you're probably doing some of those things. Same thing with Christianity, bro. If you can't hear me say Christianity has issues that are very glaring and that's why I don't fuck with it, and you're a Christian and you can't understand why I'm saying that and why I'm so pissed about it, I should say why we're so pissed about it, you're self-reporting. A Christian that I would get along with really, really well would say, yeah, you're right. We do have issues. I would like those issues to change in the future. R/relationship advice. My wife told me that she doesn't need a fourth child, meaning me, after I opened up about a painful situation I'm going through. We've been together for 18 years, married for 12, and although we struggled over the past 18 months, I thought we had worked through it. We went to therapy, had deep conversations, and shared good times as a family with our 3 kids. 10 female, 8 female, 4 female. There have still been ups and downs in the last few months, but I was starting to feel uneasy again. Lately, work has been stressful and I've been away from my family for 3 weeks. Yesterday marked the first anniversary of my dad's passing, and during a video call with my wife, I told her I miss my family and my dad and that I was feeling depressed. Instead of support, she got angry, probably because she was having a stressful day with the kids. When I tried to talk to her today, she just said she doesn't need a 4th child. Now I'm sitting here alone, crying with no one from my family to talk to. I can't help but feel like this is a sign that our marriage is over. Okay, so this is how I felt. This top commenter said this post doesn't really seem devilish, which I would agree. I think he could have elaborated more on this first paragraph, but also I think anybody is valid for feeling sad about their dad's passing. And he also told her like, hey, I miss you guys too. Clearly this guy is away for work, has something that like being by his family would help with, and therefore just makes him miss them more. Like I wasn't seeing this as devil, but this commenter says, but the top comment on the post has a lot of details that are not mentioned in it or are only glanced past. Someone said you uprooted and moved your family overseas, struggled, and then finally got your dream job that involved you being gone for 21 days every month. Okay, important context. Which your wife said no to. Looks like you did it anyway, even though your wife said no. She's making sacrifice after sacrifice, and now she's a single mother 3 weeks every month to 3 kids, including a toddler. I'm assuming that's what your struggles have been for 18 months since you posted about it 2 years ago. Your marriage is over because you expect too much from your wife and take and take and take. Set her free. Edit. Oh, and she supported you and the kids when you lost your job. She got a job she loved apparently, and you made her give it up so she could be a single mom 3 weeks a month, LMAO. This post is missing a lot of key details. Okay, this is the clarification that we needed about the first paragraph. Because then, yeah, bro, like, don't get me wrong. I still think like, hey, sucks that your dad died. Sucks that you miss your family. That being said, I think your wife has every right to be pissed at you. No shit, she's mad at you. 3 weeks out of every month. I think my dad was sometimes gone for business trips like over the weekend or like for a week out of a month. And it was brutal. You got to do what you got to do to pay the bills. Don't get me wrong, but it definitely sucks sucked. Like, I would have loved to have my dad around more. 3 weeks out of a month is just, don't fucking take that job. That is a ridiculous job to have if you have 3 kids. Even 1 kid, actually. I was just about to say, maybe you could justify it with 1 kid. I don't agree with that. That's fucking crazy. Leaving your wife with 3 kids by herself for 3 weeks a month when it could be completely avoidable. You're not a devil for wanting to have support for your dad's passing, but you are a devil for putting your wife and family through the shit that you're putting them through. You can't expect that support from somebody that you've neglected and fucked over, especially when the person that you neglected and fucked over is your own wife. And honestly, your kids. Would I be the a-hole for telling my daughter to stop pushing for a relationship? That's never gonna happen. I have 6 kids. Lizzie, 16 female. Haley, 14 female. Mark, 10 male. Jada, 9 female. Alan, 6 male. And Toby, 4 male. Lizzie and Haley are from a previous relationship while the rest are with my current husband. That is way too many kids. I'll say it. 6 kids, bro, in this economy? No way each one of those kids is feeling loved enough, taken care enough. Oh God. Have you ever heard of a condom? Like, when Lizzie was born, I never felt a real connection to her the way most mothers feel with their children. I couldn't explain it, but instead of love or joy, I just felt indifference. My mother told me that she felt the same thing when I was born, but once I was a toddler, she felt the motherly love for me she was supposed to. I waited for that and it never happened. My whole life, I haven't felt parental love for her the way I have for my other kids. Don't get me wrong, I love her, but not in the deep way a mother usually loves her kids. Ex-husband and I eventually got divorced and I met my current husband. We expanded our family and I have never been happier than I have with this man and my kids. Lizzie and Haley are split custody with my husband, with them usually going every other week to his house. Chat, could that be a postpartum depression thing? Or is this as ridiculous as I think it is? Like, not only the fact that this is how she feels, but also, how the fuck did you pump out 5 more kids after feeling like that about your kid? And I know she's like, oh, but I don't feel this way about my other kids. Still, bro, we have an issue. If you don't feel like you love your child, let's rewind to figure this out before we move on and pump out 5 more of those fucking things. What is we doing? We've established it is weird, might be postpartum, but still, you don't pump out more kids, you get help and figure it out. Unfortunately, Lizzie never liked my new husband. I did everything I could to get them to get along, and we even went to family therapy, but nothing worked. It's more than just a simple, you're not my dad kind of thing. She full on hates him, which makes me so sad. She won't even be in the same room as him without me there, which makes him sad too. Lizzie has also defied us more as she's gotten older and it's stressful. I don't have any problems with Haley, but Lizzie, I feel, is too much for our family. She loves her siblings, of course, but things are tense otherwise. Now for the incident that led to everything falling apart, Mark had gotten suspended from school for getting into a fight with someone else. He said it was in self-defense, and I believe him, but it's still not an excuse to risk getting suspended for it. Husband and I yelling at him for it, and Lizzie stepped in and got in my face, telling me that I shouldn't talk to her brother that way. I told her to stay out of it because how my husband and I handle parenting is none of her business, but she refused to back down. My husband began arguing with her, and she told us both to go fuck off. And things got a bit out of hand. My husband stepped back and I got angry at her for mouthing off at me like that. Things are a bit hazy here, but it ended with me calling her dad and telling him to come get her. I told her to pack her necessities and that she can get the rest later, but she needs to go now. She's been living full-time at her dad's for a couple weeks now. Things have definitely cooled off, but this made me change my perspective in some ways. Lizzie has been trying to reconcile. She doesn't have her phone. We never let her have her phone at her dad's. Huh? At 16, not having like a full phone to yourself? Not only kind of dangerous, but sketchy. But my ex-husband has been keeping me in the know about it all, and she says she wants to apologize and make things right. She even wrote a letter to me asking to talk. I honestly don't think I want a relationship with her anymore. After all this, I just don't think it's worth it. I haven't responded, but my ex-husband wants us to try reconciliation and even offered to pay for family therapy. My husband agrees with me on not letting her back into my life, will allow her to see her siblings, but I don't want anything to do with her, honestly. Unfortunately, though, she hasn't gotten the hint and is still pushing for us to reconcile. We've had incidents like this before where she was sent to her dad's full-time for a while so we could cool off, but I think this time might be for good. The courts aren't involved in our custody, so there's no problem there, but I can't get her to stop and leave me alone. I am planning to let her know that I don't want a relationship with her anymore and that she should let it go. Would I be the a-hole if I did this? I mean, I think you already are. Oh, she just gave you teenager attitude as a teenager does? And you want to completely give up on her because of it? Like, here's the thing, chat. As much as I don't think any mother should just abandon their child nor feel the way about them that they described in the first paragraph, I actually think it's better if Lizzie doesn't have to deal with this mom. Because clearly this mom, like, hates this daughter for some reason. Yeah, wow. This is truly a devil. I don't even think the daughter did something wrong, to be honest. She was just defending her brother. Yeah, that's actually a very good point, say so. Just an awful mother all around, bro. Posted in r/ask men advice. Men want to feel needed and catered to. Women don't understand this. I help out a Mexican lady from Mexico at work. She knows little English. She makes me feel needed and we rely on each other. We help each other out a lot. She takes out my trash. I help her take out hers. Sometimes she doesn't understand my boss, so I interpret. I feel like a king at work. I've realized that as men, we need to feel needed and valued for things we do. Most women mistake catering as mothering, but it's not. It's showing appreciation, and men have done the same thing. But a lot of women don't actually want to listen to men and collaborate either, because women have no respect for a lot of men, especially these younger generations. My friend from Africa said I should marry a lady from a foreign country. I'm just calling it as I see it. Immigrants treat me nice. Guys, honestly, up to here, I'm with homeboy. I was actually just talking about this with someone. Like, I have been in so many relationships where I've realized I was not as much a priority as I was prioritizing them. And I started realizing, like, oh, this is something I need to suss out before I get into relationships with people. Is I need to suss out, are they going to honestly give me the care that he's asking for in this first section here? After this, that's when it goes downhill. He's not only misogynistic, low-key a little racist. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm the racism expert by any means, but the whole foreigners thing feels more of like they're willing to be my trad wife and cater to my every whim more than I just want a partner who's gonna respect, care, and value me the same way that I respect, care, and value them. I feel like the post could have gone a good way because I do think there should be like awareness around like guys aren't just these emotionless breadwinners of the household anymore. That dude has feelings of their own that deserve to be validated and supported in times of need. But like, let's not turn it into a misogyny and probably racism thing. We can open that discussion without shitting on women. We can open that discussion without being like, and the moral of the story is marry foreigners. Guys should be allowed to have feelings and express them without the fear of ridicule, but they also need to know how to do the dishes. Yes, 100%. Like, I think it's just two ends of the pendulum. One of them is like, fuck men, like they need to like whatever. But then the other side of the pendulum is like, you're being mothered and like having everything taken care of and you're basically incompetent as fuck. There's a middle ground where a guy feels like they're being loved and validated and cared for in the ways that fulfill their needs. But then also they're not an incompetent, racist, misogynistic piece of shit. I promise you there's a middle ground, bro. It's not about demographics of people. It's just finding who's compatible with you. Exactly. Right idea, wrong execution. He was so close, he just went down the tater tot hole instead of the women should be equally valued and respected hole. Y'all, look who came out when I pissed. Look who came out when I went to go pee. He literally like came in the bathroom and he was like, Dad, what are we doing? Are we going pith girl? Oh, there's a flop. Hey guys, say hi to my baby boy. Say hi to sweet handsome man. Beans, look, they're all here for you. They're not here for me, let's be honest. They just want to see how sweet and handsome you are. They think you're the sweetest, handsomest guy around town. Oh, yeah. Thank you for showing me your butthole. I really, really wanted to see your booty hole. Can I come lay down with you? Are you gonna be weird if I come lay down here? Move your tail, I don't wanna lay on it. Ah, you don't wanna lay down with me? Oh, okay, he wants to rub up against me. Oh, okay. All right, that's acceptable. Oh, big stretch. Big stretch. Dude, he's so big. Like, I love showing people my cat because every time I show them Beans, they're like, he's just a big guy. You hear that? You're just such a big guy. Oh, another stretch for us? Dare I say another big boy stretch? Oh, let's give him some treats, huh? Where's his water bowl? I just cleaned it. It's drying in the drying rack. I gotta clean that shit, y'all. Yeah, guys, I just decided to stop giving him water. I just decided it was time. He's had enough in his lifetime. He should be good. You guys can't see him, but he's so politely waiting like under the desk. Watch, ready? Ready? Look at him. Look at him. He knows exactly what time it is, chat. He's like, oh, dad's yapping? Dad won't shut the fuck up? For sure, I'm getting some treats. 3 treaties. I'd say that's from Mbem. Probably Tabby for all the gifted memberships and donations. Thank you, guys. Here you go, sweet man. Let's do 2 more from other gifters and whatnot that I missed. Thank you, guys. 2 more, just because we love beans. There you go, handsome boy. He gets so spooked at just like random noises and stuff. Oh, well, bro, put that away. Put that away. Yo, what are you doing? Bro really said, here's my whole asshole. He's showing it for free too. Yeah, come on. Has dad taught you nothing? Make them pay for it. R/guy cry. My girlfriend of 11 years left me yesterday. Hi, I'm devastated. After 11 years, my girlfriend left me. She told me why. I show no feelings to her. Overall lack of talking about everything, especially important topics. She cannot depend on me when dealing with problems with family. And unfortunately, she is right. I took her for granted. In the last 1.5 years, I was thinking about engagement with her, but I was afraid to commit. Afraid to commit? After, what would that be, 9.5 years? I didn't know how to check her finger size. My guy. It's like actually so fucking easy. So goddamn easy. Okay, if this is me like planning to propose to a girlfriend, enlist her friend to take her out and then at some point take them to a shop to like just try on rings and like try shit. Like, this is honestly the part that's pissing me off the most. I didn't know how to check her finger size. Like, dude, how to get your girlfriend's ring size. 11 easy ways to get your girlfriend's ring size without her noticing. Come on, bro. There's no way you're that stupid. It's actually so easy to not be a fucking moron in 2025. Like, stupidly easy. Maybe if this was like 1980. Sure, bro. Yeah, it's so hard. Overall, I was more of a colleague than a partner. I see that now and I want to change myself for her. I want her to be happy with me and to feel like she can depend on me. I want to treat her right because I love her. She always supported me in need, and because I am afraid of my own feelings, I lost her. Glad you finally figured it the fuck out, but after 11 years, bro? Just for wasting 11 years of this woman's life? Yeah, you're the fucking devil. Edit, sorry if the post is a mess. I haven't slept. I have to take care of our dog, and I'm still in shock because I didn't expect that, and English is not my first language. There are too many posts like this for me not to believe that every guy, honestly, including myself, I haven't been in a relationship in a while, but I think it's good for every guy to take a step back, look at their relationship, look at all the things their girlfriend has complained about, or like all the things that like, dude, if you've been with her for 9.5 years, you should at least be on the same page of where you guys are with engagement, leaning towards we should be getting engaged soon. Okay. And I think every guy needs to take a day to go on a walk, write down little ways that they can like be better. Like, I don't know. Like I said, guys, I can't sit here and proclaim that I'm perfect, but by God, am I self-aware? And I think at this point, we've read way too many stupid men that like, can we put every dude into self-awareness class? Please, for the love of God, come up with a standard operating procedure for just being more aware of what's happening, not only to yourself, but also in your relationships, friendships with other people. Please, I'm fucking begging someone. This is a whole business idea. I don't care if someone steals this from me and becomes a millionaire. Like, fuck it. You would be saving the male population from themselves. Posted in r/true unpopular opinion. The great replacement theory isn't a theory. It's mathematically self-evident. I think I know what this is, but for the sake of the video, I want a full explanation. Great replacement theory is a debunked white nationalist far-right conspiracy theory. The original theory states that with the complicity or cooperation of replacist elites, the ethnic French and white European populations at large are being demographically and culturally replaced by non-white peoples, especially from Muslim majority countries through mass migration, demographic growth, and a drop in the birth rate of white Europeans. Since then, similar claims have been advanced in other nationalist contexts. So basically, it's extremely racist. OP starts it off with, just to be clear, because this is Reddit, and unless you explicitly add a disclaimer, people will fill in the gaps themselves. I'm not a Nazi, a conspiracy theorist, and I don't wish ill will towards anyone who is non-white, etc. With that out of the way, the great replacement theory isn't a theory. It's actually extremely easy to prove with math that even a 5-year-old can understand. Typical condescending way that somebody writing a post like this would start it off with. Look at my own nation, for example, the UK. Our native population has an average birth rate of 1.44 children per couple. That's not enough to maintain a population, never mind grow it. Immigrants, however, particularly from places like India, Sub-Saharan Africa, and the Middle East, all have children comfortably above that replacement level, some as high as 5 children per couple on average. The data also shows they often have more children in Western nations compared to their own, likely due to the various welfare systems and comparatively safer environment to raise children. Combine this with the recent explosion in immigration, both legal and illegal, to Western nations, and you have a trend that cannot be denied. If things carry on along this path and we extrapolate over time, many demographic groups, including my own, will be replaced. It's not a theory, it's math. It quickly becomes a matter of when, not if. And again, to be clear, I'm not trying to make a political point here. I'm not claiming to know why this is happening or who is orchestrating it. This is purely about the demographic reality, not things we cannot prove. The only people who actually give a shit about this are racist white people. Therefore, it's very easy to assume that the person that wrote this is racist, white. They are trying to claim they know why this is happening and who is orchestrating it, because every racist white person just loves to blame anybody with colorful skin, even if it's true. It's a good thing, because if it wasn't true, that means that there would be a majority of people out there who are racist. Like if white people were only hooking up with white people. It's so dumb, bro. I hate this shit, chat. Every white person who thinks about this and thinks like this wants to be a victim. Oh, wee woo. You guys are being racist towards me, even though traditionally the white man has way more privilege in all history ever and are the ones that commit racism. But no, you guys are the victims here. Tells me everything I need to know about OP. Am I the a-hole? Wife consistently does tasks after I say I will do them. My wife and I have been married for 4 years. We had our first child 6 months ago. She does things like this often, but as an example, the other morning she asked me to make a bottle for our child. I had just finished making breakfast and cleaning the dishes and wasn't dressed for the day yet. I replied saying that I would make the bottle right after I got dressed, which I was going to go do right now. I went and got dressed, which took maybe 3 minutes, and came back downstairs to find my wife holding the baby and making the bottle. In a vacuum, not really any big deal, but it is a repeat behavior, which I find myself frustrated by often. Am I the a-hole for getting annoyed? I perceive it as her passive-aggressively saying, you aren't putting the task I asked you to do above all others, and therefore the speed of your response is not fast enough, so I'll just do it myself. I wouldn't even mind if she just said, actually, can you please make the bottle first? You really wrote an Am I the a-hole post about this, and then somebody took it and put it in Am I the Devil? Like, bro, compared to the 4 people that we've read before this dude is nothing. The only thing you're the a-hole here for is just not communicating with your wife. Literally just ask her, hey, when you do this, is this you being passive aggressive? Because sometimes it feels passive aggressive, and maybe she says yes, maybe she says no, whatever. You can then go to be like, would you mind just telling me if you want me to do something right away to just do it? That's it. I don't think this person's a devil. They were cooking and cleaning and just wanted to get dressed in this situation, and we don't know everything about this person, but like, I would have never put this post in Am I the Devil. I'm willing to tar and feather this man. I don't even think he's the devil in this particular situation, you guys. Like, she said, hey, can you make this bottle for our child? He just said, yeah, I need to go get dressed real quick, and then I'll do the thing that you asked me to do. Like, I actually don't think that's that bad. If the wife was really mad about him not doing it right away, she could have just said, hey, I would actually like you to do this right now. And then if he was like, fuck you, or like whatever, sure, he's an asshole. But like, it doesn't seem like that was at all communicated. I just think he's an a-hole, not for the situation, but for the lack of communication of like, this is honestly just him being like insecure and not asking his wife and communicating with her. Like healthy, normal adults should be doing. Marigold, this is how I feel. Small mistake. You are a terrible husband and father. I would even argue it's not a mistake. If we're gonna call this guy an a-hole, we're all a-holes. At every point, nobody can deny this. They've been asked by their partner, by their mother, by their friend to do something, and you have definitely at some point been like, I gotta go do this other thing first. Let me go do that, and then I'll do your thing. If we're really saying that he's an a-hole for that, then we all are fucking a-holes. With the info that we're given, I feel confident with not the a-hole. R/relationship advice. My wife isn't allowing me to see our son, but we are still legally married. We have a 36 male OP, 34 female wife. My wife and I have been living apart for the past month after I had an affair. I won't make excuses. I made a huge mistake and I regret it deeply. I attend couples therapy with her, but it's virtual and I've been trying to make amends and show up for our son who is 3, but my wife is making it impossible. We haven't filed for divorce yet and there's no formal custody arrangement in place. But every time I try to visit, she's conveniently not home. If I try to plan ahead and ask when I can come by, she's always vague or tells me it's not a good time. I've even driven over unannounced a couple of times, only to find the house dark or be told through the Ring camera that they're out. When I confronted her about it, she told me she needs time to emotionally work through things and that she's not ready to see me yet. I understand that she's heard and processing everything, but I don't see why that means I can't see my son. I've offered to take him out for the day, suggested meeting in a neutral place. Hell, I even asked if I could FaceTime with him regularly, but she keeps dodging me. I'm starting to feel like she's trying to push me out completely and I don't know what to do. I don't want to escalate things legally if I don't have to, but I also don't want to just accept being cut off from my son. How can I allow her to let me see him? Okay, wait, where's the part about him moving out of state? People need to include comments on this shit. He did say they're speculating and assuming I'm not bringing him anywhere. I'm only in California temporarily because of work. Okay, so here's some important context. Apparently from this comment, I'm picking up that the wife and son are in Texas and he's in California. From this comment, he's saying I had to relocate because of my job. And then from this comment, he's saying that he's only in California temporarily because of work. This comment from OP clarifies I can visit every weekend and FaceTime. Fuck, you guys might hate me for this one, but is OP an asshole and dare I say the devil? Yeah, I don't think anybody should cheat and the wife is rightfully upset at OP. That being said, I'm actually a little bit mad at the wife for keeping his son from him. Like, unless that son is in danger, which I'm not picking up from this post at all, I don't think it's okay for her to be keeping him from the son. If she doesn't want to see him, that's perfectly fine. Assuming that this guy is actually like a decent father, which it seems like he's at least making the effort to be one. I don't know. We didn't get the context there, but if he is a decent father and he can be trusted alone with the kid, let him take the kid and then you don't have to deal with him. I think this is more of an everyone sucks here. I would not have put this in Am I the Devil? I want to clarify too, it sounds like there's a lot of holes in his story, which I do not doubt, but at least with what's given in the stories and the few comments we've read, I'm not convinced that keeping OP away from his son is completely justified. Tabby, that's a great way to put it. I agree in general, no one should weaponize their kid against their ex. That's a little bit how it feels. Cantix, you're right. It is a dick move to show up without announcing, but I can't say I wouldn't do the same if like I had a wife who was keeping my kid from them and like every time I reached out, they were like not cooperative. I do think it's important to point out legally, the wife is pulling some shit. I think if OP got a lawyer, he could like actually get the wife in trouble just from the very little that I know about parenting. Unless you filed something like emergency custody or something like that, it is not okay to completely cut them off like that. Our absolute favorite subreddit r/the passport bros coming in hot with a Thai dating, the shocking truth. And I think it's also the shocking truth nobody tells you. Oh God, wait, is this literally a fucking manual on how to date Thai girls from a stupid passport, bro? Oh my God. All right, so 1, the Farang training manual. Some Thai girls train foreigners like puppies. First, they ask for small payments. Oh, just 100 baht to rack. Then they request larger sums. For example, my phone is broken. Before you know it, you're funding her family's water buffalo farm while she texts her Thai boyfriend. 2, the sponsorship program, aka dating as a career. Some Thai women treat dating as a job with a salary provided by clueless foreigners. You may think you're in love, but you're actually just another investment opportunity. Bonus points if you receive a "darling, I miss you" text right before payday. 3, the 3-year expiry date. When a Thai girl turns 30, the dating game changes. Gone are the days of "I just want to have fun." Now it's "I want a serious man who can take care of me." Translation, I need a retirement plan. 4, the billionaire lifestyle on a 10K bot salary. Some Thai guys flaunt a luxurious lifestyle despite their modest means. They drive BMWs, wear Rolexes, and pop bottles at RCA, but ask them where they live and they'll sheepishly admit, with my mom. Okay, wait, so like, hold the fucking phone, bro. Like, So you're telling me the guys that basically just use foreign girls because they're expecting them to be more easily manipulated into having sex with them than quote unquote an American or like a Western girl, but they're also so fucking stupid that they have to create a manual on how not to get played by the women that they're trying to scam. Like, honestly, chat, let's fucking delete this post. Can we like mass report it so that all these stupid fucking men that take this subreddit seriously get absolutely bamboozled and hoodwinked by every woman because they absolutely fucking deserve it? If they're that shitty, yeah, bro, let them get fucking played. If you're a frequent reader of r/the passport bros, I truly hope you get rug pulled by a Thai woman. Thai woman, honestly, get your fucking bag, queen. 5, the I don't like Thai guys scam. Some Thai women tell every foreigner, I only like foreigners. Thai men are bad. Reality check. Her ex-boyfriend is Thai, her next boyfriend will be Thai, and you're just a walking ATM in between. 6, the walking soap opera. Thai relationships can be chaotic with more drama than a K-drama. Break up, cry, block, post sad Facebook quotes, unblock, get back together, repeat 10 times in a week. 7, the hidden husband plot twist. You meet a sweet, beautiful Thai girl, everything seems perfect, then one day a man shows up at your condo and says, hey bro, that's my wife. Surprise. 8, the mystery pregnancy special. Thai women may disappear for 6 months only to reappear with a baby. Who's the father? Nobody knows. 9, the dinner bill IQ test. Want to know if your Thai date likes you or your money? Watch how they react to the dinner bill. If they stare at it like it's radioactive and won't even pretend to reach for their wallet, you've been farang zoned. 10, the ultimate endgame, marry me, Tariq. Congratulations, you made it this far. Now comes the sin-sod dowry, also known as paying for the privilege of marrying her. Say no, suddenly her family doesn't approve of you. Note, not all Thai dating experiences are like this. There are many genuine, loving relationships. I mean, dude, makes sense. I mean, how much of a bitch do you have to be in this subreddit? And then also, it makes sense that you would get played so hard you have to make a fucking post on all the ways you've been absolutely hoodwinked by other women. Honestly, good for them. Take advantage of all the absolute fucking morons that exist in r/the passport bros. Let's just take a moment to clap for these women. Good for them. Take advantage of the absolute bottom of the barrel men that exist on this planet. Maybe if you went in with good intentions, it might actually fucking work out. But because you go in as a misogynistic douchebag, oh man, it doesn't work out. I fucking wonder why. You attract what you are. I truly believe that, chat. I have finally realized my girlfriend isn't nagging. I'm just not respecting her concerns. Now that I've realized this, how do I change the behavior? We have a 28 male OP, 27 female girlfriend. I often don't use the word nagging in my head because I, falsely, think that's just a dirty word that only shitty partners use. So instead, I think things like she's neurotic or a control freak or being too hard on me, which is even worse. But somehow it kept me distance from and lying to myself about what I'm doing. Yeah, what the fuck? Nagging is way less worse than neurotic, control freak, or being too hard on you. What the fuck? It creates a cycle where she'll tell me not to do something or ask me to do it differently. I apologize, but internally, I don't see where she's coming from or think about why she actually cares. I get defensive in my head, telling myself why I did it and twisting it onto her for not understanding why I did it in the first place. Sometimes I'll explain my reasoning, which gets respectfully but firmly shut down, rightly so on her part, and then I play the victim and think I'm being invalidated. Then I repeat the behavior. She's upset because I clearly didn't listen or take it seriously enough to change last time, and I feel a growing resentment for being criticized all the time. It's so toxic and it's hurting our relationship so much. I do love her and have respect for her, but in the moment, I just think of myself and throw her under the bus. She doesn't deserve that. How can I change? Bro, do you even fucking care how your girlfriend feels? Like, this dude just sounds selfish and narcissistic. All I'm getting from this is, I feel this, I think that, I blah, 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 blah. What about your girlfriend, bro? Do you actually even fucking care about her? Like, how can I change? Learn how to do some empathy, bro. Learn how to put yourself in other people's shoes and think about how they feel in a certain situation and not think about only you. Like, the fact that someone had to write a post like this to get advice blows my mind. Like, you know what the problem is. The problem is you're a fuckhead. What's the solution? Don't be a fuckhead. Does he think she wants to nag him? No, like, exactly. If I had a partner and they made this post on Reddit, that would be the biggest ick for me. Like, how do you not have the brain cells to figure out the concept of having empathy for your partner, for the person that you're supposed to love and respect the most on this planet, and you can't even figure out how to, like, give them the baseline that is deserved in being in a relationship? The more I read Reddit stories, the more I hear about the shitty things dudes do, the more I'm like, are we just born without empathy and some people just never figure it the fuck out? I respect him for finally figuring out the issue and trying to be better. I don't know if I'd say I respect him. I mean, good for you, bro. You did it. But also, that isn't something that we should applaud. It should just be like a baseline requirement of being a human being. If anything, I respect him less for having to really come to this realization that, like, any normal person would just think like, oh, she said I did something wrong. I'm probably doing something wrong. It's not something to be like praise, you know? If you're a woman, read this. This post does not condone any illegal activities. I feel like if you have to clarify that at the beginning of a post, don't write it. Hi, ladies. I will share one perspective that more or less represents how most men on this sub feel and why we're here. I'm in my 30s. When I was younger, I did okay in dating prior to Tinder's debut. Fast forward to 2024. I had just finished with the Marine Corps. Fucking crayon eater. I was and still am in great shape. I'm tall, got into bodybuilding, had a hair transplant, under eye fillers, skin treatments, LASIK, and tripled my income. I went from being a 5 to a solid 7.5 on a scale from 1 to 10. I moved to Romania right after the military, only to see what it's like. Been here for almost a year. I went to the US to visit my family for 2 weeks, and a girl I was interested in said she wouldn't be able to meet again for almost a month because she was too busy with work. So because I am not a 10, she literally didn't care. Hold the fucking phone, bro. What? Call this man Bugs Bunny the way he jump into conclusions. What the fuck? Hey man, have you ever thought that, like, she actually is too busy with work and that just means she's too busy with work? And mind you, even though she was pretty, she was quite heavy for her height, and I would not have been able to pick her up physically. Just say you fucking weak. My message to you is this: I shed blood, sweat, and tears to become the man I am today. And there is... Hey man, I hate to break it to you, but that blood, sweat, and tears were wasted because you are a piece of shit. Any person that goes, I shed blood, sweat, and tears to become the man I am today, fucking loser. And there is no way in hell I will ever go back to dating in the US. I get treated like a king in Romania, and I'm appreciated here. With that said, 1, you do not have the right to tell us how to conduct ourselves overseas. 2, what 2 consenting adults do behind closed doors is none of your business. 3, women in Western countries have no qualms about taking advantage of men for their resources. At least overseas, we are appreciated for it. I don't think that's the case. Like, you can get taken advantage of for your resources anywhere in the world. It's not like you land in Romania and there's just like something in the air where women are like, oh, I'm not gonna use anybody for their resources. Shut the actual fuck up, bro. 4, for men like myself who hop from bed to bed, keep in mind, we are a small minority. There aren't nearly enough men to ruin women. This is a problem only in the West because Western women make almost as much money as men do. Poorer countries do not have this issue, and women still pair bond with locals due to financial dependence. This guy just wants women to be property. That's insane. Lastly, there's no way on God's green earth we're going to let you infiltrate one of the only men's spaces we have left. If we have to make another social media platform to stop you, we will. The clown show ends here. Edit 1. I can see why women weren't allowed to vote. Edit 2, this entire sub has more women in it than men. If you want an invite to our new private sub, send me a DM. That hurts, dude. I just cannot fathom being this insecure. Like, are you really threatened that much? I can tell this man was so insecure just off of this paragraph. You don't need to rate yourself on a 10-point scale. Like, I've never actually sat there and contemplated how attractive I am on a 10-point scale. And I think any man that has needs to get themselves in therapy ASAP Rocky. What are we doing, dude? If I ever have a son, this is the shit I want to show my son and be like, this guy, fucking loser. Don't end up like him. 90% chance you're a decent person with a bright future. Like, oh, brother, this guy stinks. This man has the 90-day fiance casting department frothing at the mouth. You're totally right. 90-Day Fiance would literally get a fucking half chub casting from this stupid fucking subreddit. Posted in r/legal advice. University expulsion due to cheating. The course I cheated in was not a major course. I completed all of my major courses by merit, and this is my first cheating offense. I have never been accused of misconduct or wrongdoing in my 4 years at this university. First and foremost, I have reached out to an attorney who has recommended me a few things, but I wanted to come here as well for any and all advice. Backstory. Sometime in February, I planted a camera behind the keyboard in the classroom where my professor lectured. Once she typed in her login information, I was able to view the video and obtain her login information to use for my own personal benefit. On dozens of occasions, I logged on using the professor's login information on school computers in labs that have cameras and viewed exams, passed labs, and even changed my own grade in the course. The first exam around late March, I had seen the answer key prior to taking the exam and naturally got an 100% on the exam. No suspicion was raised by the professor. I continued to view answer keys prior to the next exam, which was taken in late April. My exams were very identical to the answer keys. I had noticed that the professor changed her password after the second exam when I went to log in again. And so I put the camera back in the same place as the first time. However, this time, at some point during the video, it shows her looking directly at the camera, implying that she did indeed see it. In the beginning of May, about a week after the second exam, my professor came up to me after class and asked me to come with her to the department chair's office. When I sat down, the department chair told me that there was a strong suspicion of me cheating on exams 1 and 2, and asked if there was anything I wanted to tell them. I said, I admit I cheated on them. That is all I said. I did not admit to how I cheated. Afterwards, he asked me how I cheated, to which I did not respond. They had me sign a form essentially stating that I admitted to cheating and that they were going to pass along the information to the Academic Affairs Committee for further investigation and potentially further sanctions on top of an F in the course. About a week later, a police officer from the university came to my apartment and asked me to come with him. He drove me to the campus police station where I was questioned about illegal computer usage. An hour later at the academic affairs office, I was informed verbally that I was going to be expelled from the university. And a day later, I received a letter reiterating the fact that I had been expelled. The letter says that I will not get a degree, cannot participate in graduation, and cannot be readmitted to the university now or in the future. I reached out to an attorney yesterday and will be meeting with him tomorrow. I mean, so far you fucking deserve it. I cannot confirm nor deny that I cheated in some of my classes before. I think that's pretty fucking normal nowadays. Like, there are a lot of college students cheating. I'm definitely not saying it's a good thing. Recording something that you shouldn't be, and then on top of that, recording to get access to someone's private information, that is expulsion worthy in my opinion. If bro had just copied homework or looked at somebody else's test, that's where I think an expulsion would be too much. He violated the professor's privacy, and just something about recording it feels so scummy to me, chat. The steps I'm taking for this: the university allows students to appeal this decision within 5 days of receiving the letter, which is what I'm doing. Essentially, the appeal that I have written states that I admit my actions were egregious and that I felt so much pressure to pass the course and felt awful when I cheated even before I got caught. I said that I wanted to fess up but didn't know how, and that when I was confronted, I did not at all try to justify my actions, hide them, or lie. I came clean completely, and the burden was finally off.
In my appeal, I am respectfully asking for my sanctions to be lessened to at most a suspension from the university so that I can still graduate, albeit not on time. I have not yet sent the letter, as I still have a few more days to submit the appeal, and I am waiting for my attorney to look at the letter tomorrow and give me any advice. The reason I got an attorney was so that I could either A, heavily grovel, an attorney cannot be present during the hearing, and the attorney would just help me before I go in. B, basically sue the school, saying the sanctions are too harsh.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, you did the most to cheat there. Big no-no.
I will not be denying my actions. The school has sufficient proof that I used the professor's login credentials for my own benefit. I have to come clean and just hope that the school shows mercy. If the appeal does not go well, I will resort to plan B, which is getting the attorney directly involved. Any advice on what I should say during the hearing or anything else I should do?
I mean, I think you just got to take the L to the chest. You're wasting both their time and your time. They very clearly caught you, and you're basically going up to them and being like, wee woo, I actually did do all the things that you're accusing me of, but please don't expel me. Like, nah, dude, like, own up to it. You fucked up, and like, kind of in a very violating way. Go to fucking therapy and realize how much you made a fucky wucky here. Like, I think this is just such a waste of time. Like, just go to another school and finish it all out. Like, he still has all the credits, right? It's probably not a good look to have been expelled from another school, but I'm sure he could get in somewhere. Could the professor press charges? What did they say the crime was when OP went to the police? Illegal computer usage. Is that a thing? Illegal computer usage or cybercrime encompasses any illegal activity carried out using computers or the internet, including unauthorized access, data theft, and the spread of malware. Oh yeah, I guess it would be kind of data theft if you illegally acquired somebody's email and passwords and signed in somewhere that you weren't supposed to. I mean, I think you're just asking for them to press charges on you. That's what I would be most worried about. If they've caught you red-handed, shut the actual fuck up and just hope and pray they don't press charges on you that will affect future jobs, and just go to a different school. Yeah, like, this is normal. I feel like Addy Bear. Don't get me wrong. Don't cheat, y'all. That being said, if it's like this kind of cheat, I can't really say shit. If it's this kind of cheat, I'm like, you fucked up. I would have rather failed a test than recorded my professor's keyboard so I could log into their accounts and get answers. Literally wouldn't have occurred to me to just do this. I think you really do need to be a bad person for this to even cross your mind of things that you can do in order to cheat. In my head, cheating is like copying homework or some shit like that. Like, it's not get your personal information so that I can log in and violate your privacy. Like, that's fucking crazy. R/walk away. I lost a friend of 6 years to the left's hysteric fearmongering. To start, I've never associated with the left. The first political thought I ever had was how Hillary was much more worthy of mockery than Trump back in 2016, fresh off of Pokemon Go to the polls. Regardless, I feel like this is the only reasonably sized community I can relay this story to. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hillary sucked, but like, I don't think there's anybody worthy of more mockery than Trump. Even if you are a Trump supporter, you cannot objectively look at that man and tell me that he isn't mockery worthy. Like, the things that come out of his mouth are so fucking ridiculous. There are endless clips of him just saying shit. Like, don't get me wrong, Hillary wasn't that great, but most of these guys just don't like Hillary, don't like Kamala because they're women. Call a spade a spade. I had a left-leaning Dutch friend for 6 years. Despite what one might infer about that statement, politics was never a major topic in our conversations, and I could get remarkably brazen with jokes that revolved around mocking the extremes of the left. I had a feeling I was slowly but surely red-pilling them, guiding them away from the very extremes I would mock. Bro, I was red-pilling them so hard. God, I want to just red-pill my friend in the ass so bad. I just want to touch tips, my red pill to his red pill. Sorry, I don't know where that bit came from, chat, but by God, did it manifest itself. For a time, I was even in love with them. All this fell apart when I tried to tell them that the Roe v. Wade overturn wasn't some apocalyptic event to try and save them from getting transformed into a doomer. They turned into a completely different person. They did not directly respond to a single thing I said.
They did not display an ounce of goodwill. Not once did they try and persuade me towards their argument in a reasonable way. Yeah, because if you think Roe v. Wade being turned over wasn't a big deal, you're a fucking moron. If you're that stupid, I think you're just that stupid for life. You're actually hopeless and like probably a really fucking bad person. I will put my money on that shit. They went ballistic. It was genuinely horrifying to witness a friend of 6 years dying before my eyes and being replaced by another leftist puppet, dancing on strings they don't even know are there. I feel like I witnessed the rotten fruits of pure evil that day, and it will stick with me forever. A grim reminder of what must be opposed. So he's saying it's pure evil to be upset that women have no say over what happens to their body. Chat's going crazy with the castrate comments, and I have to agree, bro. Just get rid of the whole fucking man. Not agreeing with Roe v. Wade is one thing, but thinking that someone is pure evil and not even being able to understand why overturning that violates other people's, or at least what should be other people's basic human rights, you're the evil one. And you're also, I've said it once and I will say it again, fucking stupid. There's no argument to that. You are actually fucking stupid. Educate yourself and you will realize you're wrong. Them crazy leftists again with their human rights and shit. How crazy. Like, that's literally how fucking some of them sound. They're like, oh shit, they're evil. They're so bad. They want other human beings to have the same human rights as other human beings. How fucking evil can you get? Insane, dude. I have no problem telling people like, hey, you might be smart in other aspects of your life, but if you voted for Trump, you're fucking stupid and you should apologize to all the women in your life. You basically voted against their basic rights as humans and the support of it. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother-in-law to get over himself and quit holding a 10-year-old grudge? My brother-in-law, married to my sister, is a general contractor. About 10 years ago, my dad and brother were building a deck at my parents' home. They asked my brother-in-law if they could borrow his skid loader, but he said no. They prepared the ground as best as they could without the skid loader, but got to the point where they couldn't go on without it. They went to my sister's house to ask again, but found out brother-in-law went out of town. They talked my sister into letting them borrow it, so she took them down to his construction lot and they hooked it up to my dad's truck. The next part I'm not so sure of since I don't know how much about towing, but from what I was told, Dad's truck wasn't big enough or powerful enough to tow the skid loader on the dump trailer. So he lost control and wrecked. The truck, trailer, and skid loader was totaled. The insurance was barely enough to cover the medical costs and the truck. There was none left over to cover brother-in-law's stuff. They covered the truck before they covered the skid loader for him? You borrowed someone else's shit and broke it and fixed your own shit before you fixed theirs. Medical costs, I understand. But buying yourself another truck instead of putting that money towards a new skid loader that you fucked up that you weren't supposed to be using? That's just dog shit behavior right there. Inconsiderate as fuck. When he got back to town, he exploded. He threatened to sue and things just went downhill from there. My parents are not rich and he wouldn't have gotten anything, so in the end, sister talked him into letting it go. However, from that day on, he wouldn't have anything to do with our family. He doesn't come for birthdays, holidays, nothing at all. Next month is our parents' 50th anniversary and we're planning a big family gathering to celebrate. We're also chipping in to send our parents on a cruise to Mexico, because they've never been out of the country. Bro, how about you chip in to pay for homie's fucking skid loader that you guys fucking broke and he did not give you permission to use? That would make me so mad. I spoke to my sister about it the other day and she said she's coming with the kids, but brother-in-law's not coming. I was fine with that, but when we were discussing their portion of the cruise money, I heard him yelling in the background to deduct their portion from the cost of the skid loader and dump trailer. That pissed me off, so after my call with my sister, I called my brother-in-law and told him to get over himself. This brother-in-law needs to go wreck something of theirs that's worth, I mean, this post says $70,000. Is that really how much skid loaders are? I genuinely don't know. I actually don't even know what a skid loader is. Let's look at some images. Oh shit, okay, I know what this is. I just didn't know that it was called a skid loader. There's no way these bitches can be cheap, right? Like, damn, you can order a skid loader off of Amazon for $7,000? Who's trying to go in with me on a $7,000 Amazon skid loader, chat? I don't know what I'm using it on, but by God, would I figure out what to use it for. This one's $45,000. That's fucking crazy. Okay. Even if it's not $70,000, it's probably pretty fucking expensive. I told him dad and brother made a mistake, but that was 10 years ago and he needs to let it go. He said he'll let it go when they give him the money he lost. I told him he's an ass for holding onto a grudge and putting money in the way of a family relationship. Sis called me a few minutes ago and said they're not coming and that I was out of line. We argued for a bit and that's where it stands. I don't think I'm in the wrong for telling him to let go of the past, but they're not coming to the anniversary party, so now I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm guessing this is an edit OP added. Answers to your questions. Let's get something straight. My dad and brother are not bad people. Yes, they fucking are, and so are you. Shut the actual fuck up. If you fuck up anybody's property, whether it's $10 or fucking $10,000, you are a bad person if you don't figure out a way to make amends there. If you think you can just fuck up someone else's property and go, oopsies, my bad, get over it, you're just objectively a shitty person. My dad and brother are not bad people. They are good people who made a mistake. They couldn't pay back brother-in-law because he wanted almost $70,000. And again, we're not rich. Dad had to buy another truck because he needed it to go to work. Should have fucking thought about that before he went and took equipment that he had been previously told not to take. Like, even if you can't pay back the total $70,000, you should make an effort. This is fucking family. If your dad was a good person, he would say, hey, let's not spend the money on a cruise to Mexico. Let's spend the money on paying back some of the money that we lost our son-in-law. On the other hand, brother-in-law had 3 other sets of skid loaders and dump trailers on his lot that day, so he could take the financial hit while my parents would be homeless. Brother-in-law and sis are way better off than the rest of us, so while I understand your reasoning of paying brother-in-law back, he doesn't need it. That's not the fucking point, dude. It sounds like this is his business. You probably not only costed him $7,000 of equipment, but tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business. Like, is OP fucking stupid? The cruise to Mexico isn't some millionaire trip. The total cost is about $3,000 and it'll take over 20 people to pay for that. Again, we're not rich. We can barely cover $3,000 spread out over 20 people. So there's no way we can pay $70,000. Okay, dude, but $3,000 is better than the nothing that this dude had to incur. At least make an effort. If someone broke my computer, like that was a very expensive computer. And if they're broke, I would just want a sincere apology and an effort. Even if it's like a stupid payment plan where they're paying $5 a month for the next... I don't know. It'd be a fucking long time. Don't make me do math, chat. I'm a YouTuber. 60 divided by what? 3,000? That'd take 50 years? Fuck it. Imagine trying to tell somebody to get over losing $70,000 fucking dollars. Like, I know people who get butthurt over $100, which still is okay. That's like a fifth of some people's rent. That's $70,000? Anybody trying to brush that aside is just a fucking awful person. Judas, I think OP is the devil too. OP's the devil for enabling the behavior. I truly believe that. What about the wife/sister? The sister should tell them to fuck off. If I'm married to someone and my family fucks over my partner and they're not willing to fucking like take accountability for it, I'm going no contact.